Hi, this is Brahmin. Welcome to another episode of the 10,000 Trades Show, where we are mastering trading and creating excellence through the deliberate practice and analysis of 10,000 trades. Today, we'll take a look at one of my favorite trade setups, which is using pivot points. A pivot point trade setup is when price reacts at one of the pivot point levels. So let's go on to the charts and we'll take a look at what a pivot point trade setup looks like, how to identify this type of trade setup, where to enter the trade, where to place your stop loss, and most importantly, how to exit the trade with a profit. Here we're looking at a pivot point trade setup. This is pound yen 1 hour chart. A pivot point trade setup is when price goes into one of the pivot point levels and gives us a reversal signal there. So we are looking for a reaction off of one of the pivot point levels. So in this case, we see that price had been going up. It goes into our R1 level, and just shy of that R1 level, we get this nice pin bar here. And prior to that as well, we see this pin here as well. And if you look to our left, there is support resistance in this level. So price tries to make one push higher, basically, and then pulls back, giving us a pin bar right below our R1 level. So this is a good trade setup to take, and we can take an entry short here. Now we're looking for price to drop from here, and we enter the trade short. Stop goes on the other side of our R1, so we put it right here, making sure we give it some room to breathe. So we stay with the trade as price is dropping, and then as we get closer to our S2 level here, we see that price starts to go sideways. It's just going back and forth and not really making any real progress. It tries to go lower here, but is not able to break out, and we get this bullish pin bar here. So this shows us that price is likely to either pull back or reverse directions at this point. The multiple pins into our S2 level shows that price is not able to go below the S2 level. So this is a good point for us to exit the trade. From entry to exit here, we get 160 pips. So just to recap, a pivot point trade setup is when we are looking for a reversal signal or an entry at one of the pivot point levels. In this case, price was going up, comes into our R1 pivot point level here, and we get this nice pin bars, couple of pins here. So this is a good place for us to enter the trade short. Our stop would go on the other side of this R1 level. So we just want to make sure there is room for trade to breathe. And then we stay with the trade as long as price is dropping. Once we get close to our S1 level, we see that price is not really moving fast. It doesn't have as much momentum as it did back here. And we see this nice bullish pin bar here, and we see multiple pins to the downside. This shows that price is not likely to go lower, and from this point, it can actually pull back. So this is a good place for us to exit the trade. From entry to exit here, we get 160 pips in our trade. So our profit is 160 pips or $1,600 if trading one standard lot. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you like this video, please feel free to share it with your friends and like, comment, and subscribe below. That's it for today, and I'll be back with another episode next time.